Hello and welcome to another edition of Baat Cheat with Cafemutual. I'm Suhail Chagla and today I'm joined by Kailash Kulkarni, CEO of HSBC Mutual Fund. Sir, it's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you, sir.
And how are you doing today?
Very good, especially when I come to the Cafe Mutual conference. I'm always excited because you get to meet a lot of people, learn a lot of new things. So it's always good to do that.
All right, well, that's great to hear. Well, we have a couple of questions for you today. And the first one I want to ask you is one regarding the state of the mutual fund industry. Now, we all know that the mutual fund industry has achieved a lot of success in the last 4 years. But there's one aspect that's still missing the growing number of distributors. We need to grow that more. How do you think the mutual fund industry can attract more distributors?
If you look at the overall size of distribution, it's much less than what the insurance industry has. And clearly, we need to do many more steps to get people in. But what the trend that we are seeing is that the number of distributors in this industry are actually growing. Now, more people are getting comfortable with the fact that this profession, which is good, which can earn us money, and as the number of clients increase, the potential of this industry is now coming to light. So I believe everything is a process, right? It takes time. So initially you had very few clients, you didn't need that many distributors. Now we have more number of clients. So in the last 1 year, we have added nearly 1 crore investors, unique, new to industry. So as this goes higher and higher, what is going to happen is you're going to have more distributors say, yes, I have the chance of servicing these new investors. But clearly, distributors have to upskill themselves. So it's happening. Maybe 3 years later, you may not ask this question because there will be many more distributors coming into our industry.
Maybe, yes. Speaking of distribution channels, we know that three direct, RIAs, and distributors. Of these three, which do you think will come out ahead in the next 5 to 10 years?
I think each one has its own place. There will be a requirement of distributors for time immemorial because distributors connect people to the asset managers. Not every investor is savvy enough to study so many schemes, understand the philosophy of the fund house. If there are changes in the fund house, how do you handle those changes? So you need somebody to help and guide you. So majority of the customers will fall into that category and they need guidance. Obviously, that guidance comes from distribution fraternity. RIA as a community is for a niche segment of HNI, super HNIs, who say that I'll pay you a fee rather than me, and then hence I'm coming into a direct plan. And do it yourself customer, which is the direct customer, they will come in. But I always have a fear if the do it yourself customer comes in because he's getting a cheaper product without understanding which product and they are only looking at the last 1 year return or 3 year return, it doesn't work like that. So if you see during 2000 to 2003, 2004, the markets were flat for 4 years. Yeah, that is the time you need to talk to somebody. What should I do? Yeah, when times are euphoric, everybody makes money, nobody needs a distributor. It's the times when it's not euphoric that you need a distributor who will help you, guide you, you know, and that's when DIY has succeeded in a large way because times have always been good. But if the times are bad for a long period of time, even the DIY will need some kind of a hand holding. You can use technology to fulfill your transactions, but advice generally is one to one. I think that's very important. But there will be a set of people who will migrate to DIY through these platforms. So all three will exist, all three will grow.
That's a great response. And do you have any other closing thoughts just on the outlook on the mutual fund industry?
Well, I have always been a very bullish person about this industry. I truly believe that 5 crore investors unique is just the start of things to come. This is going to double. I don't really bother about AUM. AUM is important. It will happen. It will grow. But if number of clients grow, AUM is just an output, right? It's going to happen. I think the most important thing for investors today, don't get carried away by the last 2 or 3 years return. Yeah, you should have realistic expectation about the return, and anything more than what you believe the realistic that's like a bonus for you. But stay invested, start investing, and invest more. You're going to do well so long as you're investing in India.
Well, you heard it, and you heard it on Bat Sheet with Cafe Mutual. Thank you for joining us, sir. It was a pleasure having you.
Thanks a lot. All right. Just